Western Australia, Tasmania, Northern Territory, Queensland and South Australia. Then he gave me the map, and as Norman was giving communion this morning, I started to draw a picture of what God was showing me to do. It was God showing me. And then he showed me all the tribes, and I've worked in native title where it's about, I know a lot of the tribal people who I've worked in native title. And so I started writing all this stuff down, and as Norman was doing his communion, and he was saying, he's coming again. And he saw the waves begin to rise up, and he saw the mountains, and from the heavens began to open up, and was an outpouring upon the Indigenous peoples of Australia. Amen. And he's pouring out the new wine of his Spirit, and I saw that. And the trumpet was sounding, and as the angels began to dance around the heavens, the glory of his light began to shine upon the Indigenous people of this world, Amen. Of this nation. And he said, he's stirring up, he's stirring in the Spirit. There is a stirring in the Spirit, and it's for such a time as this. And as Norman prayed that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And as Indigenous peoples, I believe that's an end time move of God speaking to us as a nation of Indigenous people in this land, is that he's coming back. He's coming back for us as a people, and we as Indigenous people need to arise, shine, for the light has come. And that's what I began to get in that meeting this morning of sharing, and I drew this picture, and I think it's a picture of our forthcoming future of what we have to experience, God's presence in our lives, God's presence among us as Indigenous, Aboriginal, First Nations people in this land, that we've got to rise up and take our rightful place. He said for a man to stand in the gap, and he's asking for us to stand in the gap as Indigenous people to take our rightful place, because he's coming back for people who are ready. He's coming back to stir up our hearts, and we as a nation need to be stirred up, and I believe that this picture showed me a bigger picture of what God has in store for us. And I just want to thank him for his glory, honour and praise. Amen.